Om Ajnanantimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmritam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our Iskcon official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 21st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, in which there is description of instructions of Prabhu Maharaj. We have been listening to the pastimes of the incarnation of the Lord, that is Prabhu Maharaj, who came from the dead body of Vena. We have been discussing. So in verse 1 it is stated that the great sage Maitreya told Vidura, when the king entered his city, it was very beautifully decorated to receive him with pearls, flower garlands, beautiful cloth and golden gates, and the entire city was perfumed with highly fragrant incense. Such a welcome was there. We were doing this fire sacrifice, Jagya, and we have discussed how he asked for a boon, very nice boon, 10,000 years to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, pastimes of that. So when he came to his city, Rajdhani or capital city, he was welcomed in this way. Verse 10 it is stated that Konu asya kirtim na sunanti avigyo jat vikramo chistam asesha bhupaha lokaha sarpala upajivanti kamam adhyapi tanme bada karma suddham. Vidura is asking about Maitreya about the pastimes of the Lord. Prithu Maharaj was so great in his activities and magnanimous in his method of ruling that all the kings and demigods on the various planets still follow in his footsteps. Who is then who will not try to hear about his glorious activities? I wish to hear more and more about Prithu Maharaj because his activities are so pious and auspicious. In his purport, Srila Siddhar Swami says, Sravan Utsukam Aviskurban Prarthate. Utsuka, interested in hearing, so much interested. That is, for that reason, he is praying Maitreya Muni to speak about the pastimes of Prithu Maharaj. So we'll hear from 11 to 20, these 10 verses about Maitreya Muni. Says how the rule Prithu Maharaj was ruling his country, kingdom, the entire Bhumandala. In verse 12 it is stated, Maharaj Prithu was an unrivaled king and possessed the scepter of ruling all the 7 islands on the surface of the globe. No one could disobey his irrevocable orders but the saintly persons, the Brahmanas and the descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Vaishnavas. About the Bhumandala, we will hear it in 5th canto, how there are 7 islands and 7 oceans. We are living or we are staying in Jambu Deepa, and in this Deepa, in this island, there is 9 verses and one ocean that is called Salty Ocean. So there are several type of oceans, 7 islands, 7 oceans. Ours is Salty Ocean. Then there is Ghee Ocean, ocean of ghee, ocean of salt, sweet water, ocean of honey, ocean of milk, like that. We will hear about the churning of ocean of milk in 8th canto, in which nectar was nectar was available, nectar was found, which was distributed by the Lord in the form of Mohini to the devotees or to the demigods, and she cheated the demons. We'll hear it in Srimad Bhagavatam 8th canto, 5 to 12, these 8 chapters. Anyway, so there was an assembly of sages. In that great assembly, Maharaj Prithu first of all worshipped all the respectable visitors according to their respective positions. After this, he stood up in the midst of the assembly, and it appeared that the full moon had arisen amongst the stars. So we'll hear from 21 to 36, these 16 verses, instructions of Prithu Maharaj. That is very important. What are the instructions of Prithu Maharaj? In verse 31, he says, Jata Padaseva viruti tapasvinam ashesha janma pachitam malam dhiya sadhya kyunanti anvaham edati sattihi jatha padangushta vinisruta sarit. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which is accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganges water which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and the spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. In the purport of Prabhupada Maharaj says, as Krishna takes away all the sinful reactions of a person immediately upon his surrender unto him, similarly the external manifestation of Krishna, the representative of Krishna, who acts as the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, takes all the resultant actions of the sinful life of the disciple immediately after the disciple's initiation. It is also stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Diksha kare shishya kare atma samarpana, sei kare Krishna tare kare atma sama. At the time of initiation, the disciple surrenders. So the Lord Krishna accepts him as his own, Atma Sama. So from 37 to 44, these 8 verses, Prithu Maharaj established bhakti through glories of Brahmana and Vaishnava. Brahmana Sanskriti, ours is Brahmana Sanskriti, Lord is called Brahmana Devaya. In verse 38, Prithu Maharaj says, Brahmana Deva Purusha Puratano Nityam Hari Jat Charana Vivandanad Abhava Lakmim Anapayinim Jaso Jagat Pavitram Cha Mahattamang Granhi. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ancient eternal Godhead, who is foremost among all great personalities, obtained the opulence of his staunch reputation, which purifies the entire universe by worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Siddhar Swami says in his purport, Brahmanan Stuvan Aha. He was worshipping he was praising the Brahmanas. So from 45 to 52, these 8 verses describes how citizens praise Prithu. In verse 45, it is said, the great sage Maitra said, after hearing King Prithu speak so nicely, all the demigods, the denizens of Pitraloka, the Brahmanas and the saintly persons present at the meeting congratulated him by expressing their goodwill. In verse 46 it is stated that they all declared that the Vedic conclusion that one can conquer the heavenly planets by the actions of a putra, their son, was fulfilled. For the most sinful Vena, who had been killed by the curse of the Brahmanas, was now delivered from the darkest region of hellish life by his son, Maharaj Prithu. This question will be asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto. While the Lord delivered this what is his name? That in Rajasya Yajna, the Lord delivered that who fell down from Vaikuntha planet, that is Jai Vijay. He was got so much. He was delivered, but Vena, he was that Shishupala. Shishupala was condemning the Lord so much, but he was delivered. But Vena was condemning the Lord, but he went to this Narka, hellish planets. How is it possible? Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this question in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, and Narad Muni has answered that. We'll hear it. So in this way, The last verse says, 52, that dear Lord, you are situated in your pure existential position of goodness. Therefore, you are the perfect representative of the Supreme Lord. You are glorified by your own prowess, and thus you are maintaining the entire world by introducing Brahmanical culture and protecting everyone in your line of duty as a Kshatriya. This the way all these descriptions are there in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 21st chapter. So in the next chapter, that is 22nd chapter, we'll see how 4 Kumaras will come to the assembly of Prithu Maharaj. As we have already stated it, the Lord will say that 4 Kumaras will come, will hear the instructions of Prithu Maharaj, very important instructions. We have now heard the instructions of Prithu Maharaj. In the next chapter, the instructions of Acharya 4 Kumaras will be described, will hear. So we are so fortunate. So we are hearing these instructions. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like our channel and get the blessings. Hare Krishna, Krishna